Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Hey, did you guys remember that it can be fun watching Sens games sometimes? That's pretty cool when that happens. That's a nice change of pace. It brings me so much joy to be able to hit this button again. New York Rangers, you just got Sensed. A Friday night Sensing. How about that? Carl in the chat, hello everyone from the Swedish Islanders fan, and thanks for beating the Rags. Hey, no problem. I'll speak on behalf of the Ottawa Senators and say that was for you, Carl. Please enjoy, Pajot. What a game, everybody. That was I think, beyond the fact there's so much to talk about with the Sens winning, and I think a big thing is that holy fuck, thank you for winning a game. But just in outside of the season at hand right now, just in the bubble of this one night, just looking at this game as what it is, just this one game. What a fun hockey game in general. That was a blast. Real quick, we'll just throw in a quick word from our sponsor here, and then we can get into just enjoying every bit of that. Think you know what way it's going to go? Make your bet with Sports Interaction. Whether it's World Cup, hockey, football, or basketball, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, live in play, or on one of our many prop bets, Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, please play responsibly. Now, I said last show that if you want to have that, you need this next game on Friday, the rematch against the Rangers within 2 days, to be a statement game. And I don't know if that's what we saw necessarily, but they definitely, as far as, how the rest of the season is going to look, it's still kind of a nightmare being a Sens fan, but tonight we get to enjoy a win. The Sens certainly made a statement against the Rangers. And, God, there's so much to talk about. I had a bunch of things I wanted to bring up before the game even started. And I don't know if I want to go chronologically or start with some good stuff, I think we got to start with Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk playing in his 300th NHL game. The Gordie Howe hat trick plus an extra goal just for fun. Let's rewind a bit. Brady Tkachuk. So following that fight, everyone knew he was going to score a goal, right? Like, he assists on Stützle's goal, has the fight with Trouba, the two captains fighting, which was really, really funny to watch, actually. Just not every day you see two captains fighting. Not every day you have two captains that are willing to fight or willing to play as physically as those two. And yeah, as soon as he's heading to the penalty box, it's just like that. He's playing in game 300. He's got 99 career goals. He's going to score to make it a Gordie Howe hat trick. And then he does it to tie the game with whatever it was, 49 seconds left, followed by the game winner in overtime. Like, what an incredible game for Brady Tkachuk. It'd be interesting to see if he turns into one of those guys who just, like, obviously he shows up every single game, but one of those guys who especially plays well in milestone games. You see a guy like Chris Phillips who scored 2 goals in game, I don't even remember what it was. I think Chris Phillips scored 2 goals in his 800th game and maybe his 600th game. Anyway, yeah, what a game for Brady Tkachuk's 300th of his career. Also, holy fuck, are we getting old or what? Brady Tkachuk has played 300 NHL games. That is ridiculous. And it'd be more if it weren't for, COVID chopping a bunch of seasons up. So Brady Tkachuk now, what is he at on the season at this point? I don't think these are updated yet. Let me just double check to see if these are updated, because that was game 23, right? I believe that would have been game 23. So if I add, 2 goals and assists at 3 points. So Brady should be at 28 points in 23 games this season. Buddy. I love you, Brady. So I think I've said this a few times already on the show and just in general real life outside of it. But I don't think I was necessarily one of those people who had a really tough time accepting the Brady Tkachuk pick in 2018. But I was definitely like, I don't know about that. I take back every negative thing I could have even possibly thought, let alone said, on that day. Brady Tkachuk is like, if even if he doesn't keep up the scoring pace, even if he just ends up being like a 65 point guy through his prime, if he keeps playing, like with this intensity and this much heart, like he's gonna have a statue. What an unbelievable player. I can't believe how, like, it sounds silly. It sounds silly. I can't believe how good he is. Like, just plainly, I can't believe how good he is. Like he shouldn't be that. You know what I mean? Like very early pick in a draft, and I feel like he shouldn't be, like, he's so good. Brady Tkachuk is so good. I'm gonna try and like actually talk about this game now instead of just being like, it's Brady Tkachuk. Officially, December 2nd is now officially Brady Tkachuk Day. We'll see if the Sens play on December 2nd next season. We can celebrate. So let's make a little poop sandwich here, guys. Let's go really positive and follow that up with a negative. And if you want, now's a great time to send this video around, bring your friends in. We get a bigger audience for this shitty thing, because we're gonna talk about the negativity. And I know, misery loves company. So let's bring some more people and share this around. If you're watching right now, see how many Sens fans, or just really fans from any team, probably other than the Rangers. I don't know how many Rangers fans are going to want to tune in. So today was also the return of Nikita Zaitsev. Nikita Zaitsev, who I believe went pointless and a -3 in 3 AHL games. And I am absolutely one of those people who thinks that plus minus 99% of the time is a useless stat. But, when you're supposedly an NHL defenseman playing in the minors, granted, Belleville looks like shit this year. They are not doing great. You'd think like, okay, send him down. He's going to have a good few games, regain his confidence. And he looked maybe worse in Belleville than he has in Ottawa so far. Like, I believe the Sens were 0-10 with him in the lineup leading up to this game. So, it's never a good sign when you're no doubt worst defenseman on the team that you're 0-10 with in the lineup comes back. And I didn't really weigh in on it when they called him up. Like, we all knew what was going. I saw a lot of people saying, no, he's going to be defenseman number 7 and it's going to be fine. No, we all know DJ Smith and the fact that he loves Nikita Zaitsev for some reason. And sure, like, he kept him to 13 and a half minutes of ice time, which is nice. I appreciate that. But he shouldn't be playing at all. Did he look terrible? No. To be fair, I didn't really see him at all game. I barely picked up. I really only noticed him a couple times, if close up on him on a face-off. And I think that's probably best case scenario. If Zaitsev plays 13 and a half minutes and you barely friggin' like even pick up on the fact that he's playing, that's probably best case scenario. And the Sens get their first win with him in the lineup, which is wonderful. So I don't know. As far as like the fact that Zaitsev is up is a kind of a nightmare, but like it's kind of gone as well as it possibly could for this game at the very least. I think it could have been a lot worse. Ideally, you don't have him in the lineup, and that just kind of proves how thin Ottawa's defense is depth wise. I mean, the defense has 0 injuries, and you still, well, not 0 injuries. JBD's out, right? So you have that shouldn't affect it. You have an injury to, at the beginning of the season, the guy that was supposed to be your number 8, right? So I don't know. Defensive depth is still an issue, and it was kind of on display tonight a little bit. I can't believe the Rangers. The scoring in this game should have been a lot higher on both sides for sure, but I can't believe the Rangers only scored 2 goals. They had a couple of chances that looked like just sure things. Sens had some great chances too. But the amount of high danger chances the Rangers had tonight were astounding. Like, should not have had that many, period. But they did, and they didn't capitalize, and by some miracle that resulted in the Sens win. Despite the Sens outshooting them 37-27, and I think the Sens had 4 shots with like maybe 5 minutes remaining in the first. So nice to see the Sens offense actually putting together a few good chances throughout the game and keeping it consistent. Is there anything else negative I really want to talk about? Because I feel like we can just kind of turn this into mostly a positive, which is so refreshing for anyone who's tuned into previous episodes. Really, at any point following that 4-game win streak earlier on in the season, it's been a whole lot of negativity. And I try not to do that, but sometimes you're just kind of stuck with it, and that's all you can talk about. Honestly, yeah, I think really only negatives are the fact that Zaitsev was playing at all, but the plus side to that is that like he was invisible, which means he didn't do anything too horrifically dumb. So yeah, Talbot was really good. So the thing is with Talbot, great game. Stopped, let's see here. He stopped 25 out of 27 shots for .926. And the 2 goals he let in, he had a defenseman on the ground not like able to play at all. So Talbot had a phenomenal game. Probably could have, like I don't want to say that. I don't want to say if Hamonic and Zub were in the play for the 2 Rangers goals that they definitely wouldn't have been goals. We don't know that, but the fact that the only 2 goals he let in was when his team was basically down a guy directly in front of the net, like the main defender trying to stop that play. That says a lot about his game. I can't fucking believe that Hamonic came back flat out. I cannot believe that Travis Hamonic came back following that puck to the throat. Like I've said, I've had a lot of negative things to say about Hamonic this season. I still don't think he's the guy, because it's just so depressing when Travis Hamonic is leaving the ice and the play-by-play guys are like, well, there's a top 4 defenseman gone for Ottawa, and like technically they're right as far as pairings and everything. He's been playing with Sanderson for majority of the season. Just going back to the lack of defensive depth on the team, that's a problem, but I can't believe he came back. What a friggin' warrior. Like a puck to the throat, man. Like, clearly it's not as serious as it could have been, and like very easily could have been. And that's great for him. I hope he's feeling, there's no way he's feeling great right now, but I hope he's doing well. What a scary play. That was really, really rough. Yeah, the fact that he came back is nuts. And then for Zub, took a puck to the face. I saw he was bleeding a bit, got patched up. And yeah, wouldn't be surprised if he misses time after the game. Same for Zub. Yeah, because that's the thing, like, even with a puck, Zub getting a puck to the face for sure. And even with Hamonic getting a puck to the throat, like, I don't know. I didn't get a good angle of him going down. I don't know if there's a whole lot of whiplash off that. Like, I mean, maybe Hamonic not so much, but Zub, you'd think he would have just like naturally been put into the concussion protocol stuff. Like he would have been checked out just to be safe. He was back pretty quick though, so I don't know. And Hamonic, yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow they are in rougher shape. And Hamnick's been bad since he left the Islanders. You're completely right. I think the Islanders got like 2 seconds plus for him back in the day when he was initially traded to Calgary. I want to say was Calgary his second team? Anyway, I remember when his time with the Islanders, he was like a top end defensive guy, right? So, but regardless of my being critical of his play most of the season, I hope he's doing all right, and the fact that he came back, I think, is a really good sign. But yeah, all that to say, both him and Zub, so Hamnick and Zub both going down really quick on those pucks to the friggin' head and throat. Terrifying, both of them. And the fact that, those are the only 2 goals that Talbot allowed was with missing a defenseman on both, I think is a really, really impressive showing from Talbot. He had a great game. Also, thank you, Cam Talbot, because I added you on one of my fantasy teams tonight, so I really, really appreciate that. One of my leagues requires 3 starts per week, and on Friday night, leading up to Friday night, I had 0 because Allmark and Francouz just have not been playing this week, so it was becoming an issue. So I slapped him on my team, and I'm feeling good. That's good. So Talbot with a hell of a game, boy, I'm trying my best not to revert just going back into Brady Tkachuk talk, because to have 2 goals and assist and a fight in your 300th career game where you score your 100th career goal to tie the game, 101 to win it, I can't. It's unbelievable, and I unfortunately I don't have any. I do have. Do I have any blank? I have one blank. So I have one blank Sens jersey, which unfortunately is before Brady's time. It's from the the 07, 08 through whatever that is, 16, 17, I guess, the Reebok jersey, and it's also it's signed by Foligno, Carlson, and Leclerc. So I can't really. I know Leclerc's a weird one to throw in on there, but I can't really stick any names on the back of that. Just as staying blank. So I do desperately need a Tkachuk jersey. What a different vibe tonight is, by the way, from me going the season's a lost cause and it's misery, and now I'm I still think the season's probably more than likely lost at this point. However, I really want a Tkachuk jersey and a Sanderson jersey. Anyway, definitely want a Tkachuk jersey. And that's the thing. Even on nights so nights like this where Tkachuk shows up on the scoreboard, things just bounce his way. He's doing whatever. He's doing whatever slightly differently, maybe to put the puck in the net. Unbelievable work by him. But the thing with him is that even on nights where he doesn't get on the scoreboard, you see him throwing his weight around. He's good for 3-4 shots and hits the game on average. He's always involved, always in front of the net, always causing shit, just stirring up shit all the time. And just what an unbelievable player. Underrated night also, Tyler Mott. Not on the score sheet at all, but that dude had so many great chances tonight, around the net a whole bunch. He had a great drive to the net. I think it was in the second period, just kind of going on his own, cutting right through the offensive zone, creating some serious chances. Really impressed with Mott and Matthew Joseph, honestly, tonight. Both of them had a great game. They're playing with Dylan Gambrell. Didn't really impress me all that much, but it's tough. You're in and out of the lineup a bunch, right? So, but yeah, Tyler Mott, great game. Really impressed with him as well. Ice time discourse. Let's talk about ice time again, because for a little bit of a change here, I'm actually going to be talking about ice time mostly positively here. This was a unicorn game for sure, because it's the one game this season the Sens have won out of Zaitsev's 11. And also they won a game where Shabbat cracked 30 minutes, which is a very rare thing. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember earlier this season when Shabbat was just playing 30 minutes a night consistently, just, no overtime or anything. Just obviously like a 3-period, just a 60-minute game. He's throwing up 30 plus, and it's a problem. And I don't remember who tweeted out or what the exact numbers were. But it's the Sens record when Shabbat plays 30 minutes plus is not good. It's terrible. So the fact that they won a game with Zaitsev in the lineup and Shabbat throwing up 31 minutes 11 seconds, I can't believe that. This is a unicorn game. Welcome to the unicorn game. And like I said earlier, Zaitsev playing 13:38. I'm fine with that. Minute 45 shorthanded. I mean, that's Zub. Okay, I should have noticed this earlier. Zub didn't play at all on the PK, which I find pretty surprising. Huh. Yeah, Zub played all of 10 seconds. Special teams played 10 seconds on the power play. Interesting. Okay. All right. Despite cracking 20 minutes, and yeah, like I thought, like was he just gone? Because I mean the Sens were only down twice. They only had 2 penalty kills. Went 2 for 2 on the PK. Love that. But yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, no time on PK for Zub. Zaitsev and Brandstrom both around a minute 40, 45. And then Hamonic and Sanderson both cracking right around 220 on the PK. Other than that, on the defense, everything looks pretty fine. Zaitsev 13, Brandstrom right around 13 as well. Sanderson about 20 seconds shy of 25 minutes. I don't mind that, honestly. It's one of those things where it'd be nice if Sanderson playing 25 minutes could result in Shabbat playing fewer than 30, but in a game that goes to overtime. And I'm not sure what Shabbat's ice time was in overtime, but he was out there quite a bit. As far as the forwards go, there aren't really any surprises here. Both Kelly and Kastelik playing under 10 minutes. That's fine, I guess. Watson played 12 minutes because he was on the PK, I guess. Only forward to crack 20. No, that's not true, actually. DeBrincat and Stützle both cracked 20. Tkachuk probably would have if not for the fighting major, but that's fine. That was a solid fight. Is it weird that I find that talking about ice time is less interesting when I'm not pissed off? I'm kind of like just going through the ice time and going, yeah, that's fine. And usually when I'm doing that, I'm getting really mad that Zaitsev played 20 minutes. Like that typically is how that goes usually. So I mean, it's not as entertaining or interesting, but it is a nice change of pace. So yeah, with that, I mean, looking forward, like I said last episode, if you want any hope to keep the season alive, the Sens have to win their next 3 games. So that's 1 of 3 done, because the next 2 games are against the Sharks and the Kings. The Sens should have won that game against the Sharks, frankly. I mean, that was, at the time, I don't remember where the Sens were in the standings, either 31st or the Sens were either 31st or tied for 32nd with the Ducks. I don't remember where they were. Either way, they were below the Sharks, and the Sharks were 28th in the standings at that time, I believe. So, and then the Sharks just fucking killed the Sens. So this is a for sure must-win game. Based on where we are in the season and who it is, you got to kill the Sharks tomorrow. So they're playing back-to-back games. Sharks. I don't know when the Sharks last played. I don't think the Sharks are playing tonight. So that's a must-win against the Sharks, and then you got the Kings following that on Tuesday night, and playing against the Kings, like, fucking win again, right? So if the Sens win the next 2 games, that'll bring their record to, I believe, 11-13-1. So, like, it's still not good. Like, it's still a fucking problem, but at least, you win those 3 very winnable games, and then you got to deal with Dallas and Nashville and fucking Montreal and Minnesota and Winnipeg and Detroit and Boston later on in the month, but you can deal with that later. So fucking just like these next 2 games are so important. But yeah, let's turn it over to the chat for a little bit here to wrap up this episode. I'm having a great time. It's Friday night. I met up with 5 of my best friends in the world for sushi before the game, and the Sens win, and Brady's doing Brady things, and just like what a great night overall. So really happy that Friday night's being capped off with this. So from Carl in the chat, what is your thoughts on how to get DeBrincat going? I don't have an answer. I think I probably would have had an answer for that maybe 10, 15 games ago. So the thing with DeBrincat is he's still doing well. Like, let me just double check on his stats now following this game. He got an assist this game, so he's at 18 points in 23 games, 6 goals, 12 assists. For just an average dude, like that rules. But you'd expect it to be the opposite, right? You wouldn't think you'd be seeing 6 goals, 12 assists. You think it'd be the other way around, 12 goals, 6 assists for a guy like him. So I'm not that bummed with his production. I think he's putting up, like, the point totals are right around where everyone expected it to be. Everyone's like, DeBrincat, who's DeBrincat? He's a 40-goal, 70-point type guy. So he's still right around that 70-point mark, which I appreciate. What the weirdest thing is the fact that I thought like he'd be fighting Norris for a lot of the goals, and with Norris out, I was like, okay, so DeBrincat is like uncontested best goal scorer on the team. He's going to get all the looks, all the chances, and it's just not clicking. DeBrincat's in the right place all the time. He's always circling the net. He's where he needs to be. He fans on shots. He shoots pucks wide. He's getting robbed a lot too. Maybe not so much in the last few games, but certainly earlier on in the season, he was just getting absolutely goalied, like just goalied hard. So I'm not in like, I don't look at DeBrincat as like a guy who needs to get it going. I don't think it's an issue yet. It's a little worrisome for sure, and it's making me wonder, like, because we know he's not a 20-goal scorer. Like, that's not who he is. But just by the way he's played, if he scores like 10 goals in the next 8 games, like I wouldn't be surprised. He's getting his looks, he's getting his chances, he's just not finishing, and I don't know if there's anything you'd want to change. His shooting, I don't know what his shooting percentage is at now, 7.6%. His career number is 14.9. So he's shooting almost exactly half his average percent. So I'm not that concerned, honestly. I think it's going to come. Like, if he just keeps playing the way he's playing, I think it's going to happen eventually. He's going to start putting more pucks in the net because we know he can do that, and we know he's supposed to do that. Give him another... If over the next 20 games he only scores another 5, then, if we're at the halfway point of the season and he's barely cracking double digits, that's going to be an issue. But right now, he's looking good. He's in the right spots. It's just a matter of him finding the hole. And I don't know. I'm not nervous yet, like I said, but we'll see how that goes. From Raphael, I have faith in Forsberg. Talbot deserves a night off tomorrow. Yeah, I'm with you. So with this game, I don't know. It's not incorporating in there, but heading into this game, Talbot was rocking a 9.18 on the season, which, by the way, holy fuck, dude had a 9.18 on the season with a 3-6 record. Okay, you know what? Let's just for comparison's sake, let me pull up Forsberg real quick, because I just like can I pull up Anton Forsberg real quick? I know I'm gonna have to type over here. So Anton Forsberg, 904, and he is what, 471. Yeah. So like, I mean, neither of the Sens goalies are having a great record, but the fact that Talbot, a 918 and he's 3-6-0. I mean, at this point, like he's what, 4-6-0 with a better save percentage. That this game helped for sure. He had what I think it was a 926 tonight. Just Talbot's just not getting the goal, any help offensively, and I do think that Forsberg is going to bounce back a little bit. He's looked rough at times, but I do think I do have faith in Forsberg still. I don't think he's going to be recreating last year's numbers which is so odd that he was able to get such great numbers last year on such a terrible, terrible team. But yeah, props to him for having those numbers last year. But yeah, I do have full faith in Forsberg, and you're right. Talbot absolutely does deserve this this night off coming up tomorrow against the Sharks. And I just, like, for the love of God, guys, can somebody please put up some goals against the Sharks? Because it's just, like, please score. All I want is for the Sens to score 3 goals back-to-back nights. Or back-to-back. It doesn't even, don't even think about back-to-back nights. Just back-to-back games can the Sens score 3+ goals. We went into the season thinking this offense was going to be elite. We were like, this top 6 is better than the Leafs top 6. I don't know if I ever really bought into that at all, but like, fucking please score more than 2 goals like a couple games in a row. That'd be so nice. That'd be so nice. I still think he's adapting because he got his son in the summer and then got traded. Adapting to Ottawa, yeah. So that is a big thing too. Yeah, like he's a fairly new dad. Also, DeBrinket's kid is fucking adorable. I saw, like, the Sens team was the Twitter guys, whoever runs the Twitter, posting a lot of photos of DeBrinket in the offseason. Adorable baby. You should not be that successful of a hockey player and also be allowed to have a kid that cute. That's not fair. From Carl, I guess Talbot has been good, but the Sens defense has been horrible. Yeah, it's an issue of Talbot's been good. The defense, more often than not, has been like kind of sort of acceptable, and the offense has been non-existent for Talbot. Like he's just not getting any goal support whatsoever. Which is a shame, because you know what? To end this show, let's look at Cam Talbot's games. Let's look at Cam Talbot's game log, because now I want to know how many games he's played in this season and just been left out to dry. Unlike tonight, thank fuck. Now let me see if I can just find... Where am I looking here? Game logs. Here we go. Game logs for 22-23. Yeah, and I mean, also, he hasn't played that much just because he was injured up until this month. Like, his first game was on the 3rd against Vegas, where he came in relief and stopped 13 out of 13. Following that against Philly. Oh my God, really? So what is this? Okay, so so he was 0-1 after stopping 13 of 13 against Vegas, where I believe Forsberg was stuck with the loss. Then lost to Philly with a 929. Then gets just absolutely lit up against Vancouver. Allows 5 goals on 27 shots for an 815. That's really his only... That's like not true. That's his only one of 2 nightmare games. So Talbot's had 2 nightmare games. He had that one game against Vancouver there where he allowed 5 goals on 27 shots for an 815. Fast forward a few weeks, or a week and a half, I guess, against San Jose, where he allowed 3 goals on 7 shots for a 571. But if you take out those 2 games, and I know I'm doing a lot of like reaching here with that, but if you take out those 2 games, so Talbot had those 2 awful games, but other than that, here's his save percentages for every other appearance he's made, which I believe every single game other than his first was a start. I think he just came in as support against Vegas for coming in as the backup, where he stopped 13 of 13. But so following that, 929, 974, 912, 941, 914, 969, 926, 917. That was last game against the Rangers where they lost. And then tonight, 926. Talbot, other than 2 kind of nightmare games, not only has he been consistent, he's been consistently great. So, can we please get Cam Talbot the fucking goal support he desperately needs and even more so deserves with the way he's been playing? Can the Sens offense finally put it together and just please please help Cam Talbot because he's played out of his mind. This was his 12th game. He's played out of his mind, arguably, I would say 9, maybe 10 times out of those 12 games. So please, if he's starting the game against the Kings on, I believe, Tuesday, let me double check on that. The game against the Kings on Tuesday, because you'd assume Forsberg takes the net tomorrow. Please, for the love of God, score a bunch of goals on the Kings and help Talbot out. Anyway, I think we're going to call it there, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, please share with anyone who you think would enjoy the show, whether they're a Sens fan or otherwise, because maybe the Sens are going to put together some wins, and this will be a fun show to check out. Thanks for watching live if you watched it live, and if you're not watching it live, I think you should watch it live. It's a lot more fun that way. If not, thanks for listening on your podcast apps or on YouTube after the fact. Sub to SDPN, like the stream, have all that fun stuff going on. Support the channel. We love getting support naturally. So go Sens go. Please win tomorrow. Mod's going to have you covered tomorrow. I believe Mod is also doing the LA game. So I will be seeing you guys next on December 8th against the Dallas Stars. So yeah, show Mod some love. Show up for those streams. And everyone have a good old time. It's Friday night. The Sens won. Have a good rest of your night, everyone. I'll see you next time.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.